Welcome to Algeria, Elias Benkara. We are starting to build the next generation, and qualifying for a FIFA World Cup always speeds up that process. We desperately need defenders, especially tall, good central defenders, and that is exactly what Benkara is. Welcome to the setup. Where are all these German Algerians spawning from? We've had so many in the past few years. I could barely remember. It's usually always pretty much French Algerians. But the Deutsch Algerians are saying no to Oktoberfest. The Mandisch Mannschaft are coming to the Fennex because Benkara is a really good addition. Now, whatever you say about someone's talent, qualities, potential, you have to respect anyone that makes that switch at 18, 19. You've seen the other end of the spectrum, the people like Andy, Delors and all these sorts of guys, and they play and then they come when they've got no choice, and which, I'm not totally against it. I respect it, and I always want the team to be better. It's better late than never, but you've got to give a lot of respect to Benkara, Mazza as well, Xiaka, and all these guys. They have pledged right from the beginning, and trust me, how many times have we seen players come to Algeria at a young age, and when they've got in their prime, they're more than good enough to play for a France, a Germany. So first of all, maximum respect to Benkara to switch to Algeria at 18. They only played one game for Germany under 17s, and that was a friendly, of course. He's not even played a competitive sort of qualifying youth game or another 21 game. So the switch as it is an easy switch to do to play for the Algerian team. I think the big question now is, where do you slot in Benkara? Because you could have him with the under 20s, where you've seen Pateka from Birmingham play, and a few other youngsters in that under-20 setup. You've got the Arab Cup team, where you've got the likes of Ray and Colley and players like that, and that's going to be a really big tournament for the Arab Cup guys and Bulgaria coming up in a few weeks' time, and they are going to have European-based players where the clubs are going to let them go. So, for example, Bulgaria wanted to have Benkara from Zagreb in his Arab Cup team, and Zagreb have said no. Whereas a Ryan Colley, for example, or other players like Belazug or the goalkeeper Yesley in Canada, their clubs have said, yes, you can have them for the Arab Cup. So it's a case-by-case basis for these players coming into the Arab Cup team. Now, of course, Benkara is with sort of Dortmund's second team. He's not really featured in the first team, and he's recovering from an injury. He's playing in the UEFA Youth League, and he was part of the squad at the FIFA Club World Cup in the summer, and he played with Dortmund's main team in pre-season. So he scored for them in pre-season as well, by the way. Good finish. So he's got all the talents, all the attributes. How long have we been having the same defenders? You know it's going to be Ben Sebaini and Mandy pretty much at the back. Ben Sebaini was a left-back for many years for Algeria. Ended up being a centre-back because we've pretty much got no one else. And at club level now, we've sort of merged those two together. He's a left centre-back in Dortmund's back three. So he's a good player. And of course, you've got Ait-Nouri coming in at left-back, which kind of pushes Rami to centre-half, who ironically is a teammate of Benkara at Dortmund. I wonder if Ben Sebaini had a word or two in his ear trying to get him on board, a bit like when Slimani was at Lyon with Aouar and Guiri and all these sorts of guys. So, really good addition. Of course, would he go to the main team? Would Benkara go straight in Petkovic's list? Many people are going to be saying, look, he's not played in the first team, he's not ready. First of all, you've got to get him playing a game for the main team. You've got to get him playing a game for the main team just so he's got the stamp, and Germany can't come back in for him or anything like that. You see what happened with Mazza. You get in Mazza when he's at Hertha Berlin in the Bundesliga 2, makes his debut, goes on to sign for Leverkusen. Now he's at a really big club, he's playing in the Champions League. So I want him to be in the main team. I think he is good enough. Looking at what we've got, right? If Moderni and these sorts of guys, and Belid and Tugay, for goodness sake, don't get me started on Tugay, please. If these guys are getting in the main team, you can't tell me that you can't at least give Benkara a shot. I think at centre-back, assuming Petkovic plays the back four, it's going to be Ben Sebaini Mandy, I think, when everyone's fit. I think Shergi is a nice addition. I think Shergi's going to be in and around that squad. I think Shergi will go to AFCON if he's fit. Of course, he can play right back as well. The coach doesn't seem to like Tuba. For whatever reason, I don't know what's happening behind the scenes, Tuba's always been in and out, which is a shame, really, because under Belmadi, he actually crossed that ball for one of the offside goals, and of course scored the goal. But of course, Cameroon went on to get the winner straight after. So Tuba's kind of gone under the radar, changes club, changes country all the time. Of course, he's at Panathinaikos. It's actually managed by Rafa Benitez now, by the way, Tuba, playing some European football with them. I think Europa League as well under Benitez. So I don't know what's happening there. But guys like Tugay, just, Tugay for me is the reason we lost to Mauritania. In friendly games, and that's what we have coming up. You've got 2 friendlies against Saudi Arabia and against Zimbabwe. That is the perfect opportunity to not just Benkara, there's others as well. Boitanani's got to play, Kabala's got to play, Xhaka's got to play, Mazza's got to play more. Got to, Shergi, Belgali, Dorval, all of them, they have to play these games. It just annoys me that, come on, we've got the World Cup qualification done. That is the last straw, Petkovic, of saying, I don't want to test anyone new because we've got to make sure we qualify. We've qualified now. You're playing Saudi and you're playing Zimbabwe. Respectively, you're not playing Brazil and Argentina, Vladimir. So you've got every chance to throw in a Benkara. See what he can do. It's friendly, it's harmless. You're not going to lose anything if you're out. We're going to be in pot 3 of the World Cup anyway. We're not going to lose ranking. Got to get these guys in. Got to see what they're about. When are we going to know what they're about? We're never going to know. We're never going to know. This is the only time we're going to find out. We're going to have 2 friendlies again in December before the AFCON. They'll both be against African opposition as well in Algeria. I want to see these guys involved. I can understand if he played the Arab Cup. If Benkara played the Arab Cup, I'd get that perspective as well, especially with the number of European-based players that are going to be there. But I think if you're Benkara right now, you've got a real chance to play the World Cup here with Algeria. Germany's always going to be Germany. They're always going to have some of the top players in the world. But if he's not starting for Dortmund, he's not going to get in the German team. He wants to play for Algeria. You've got to respect it and welcome him. But he must be thinking, I've got a great chance here of playing at the World Cup. He's got an unbelievable opportunity to go to a World Cup. He'll be 19 when a tournament comes around. And then you've got him for the next 10 years minimum. I mean, what a pull this is for Algeria. This guy could go on to be world class. He's got all the attributes to be a top-class central defender. If he just needs to stay fit, he's got everything. Watch a bit of him. Watch him in the Youth League. Watch him in the friendlies for Dortmund. He's really good. Honestly, I promise you. So this is a nice addition. It's nice to get these players in. Last time we get the Luka Zidane, we get the Dorval, the Belgali, the Shergi. Now you're getting Benkara as well. I think the FAF are going to decide now. They're going to liaise with the Arab Cup team, the AFCON team, the under-youth teams. Where are they going to fit Benkara in? So it's going to be really interesting to see, because we've, even in the youth setups now, Algeria are trying to slowly, we're still years behind everyone else, we're trying to build a youth setup with players born outside of Algeria. Even in the UK, we've had players involved in that. So that's a really positive step. But honestly, where are these German Algerians coming from? Mazza and, I know Shaibi's not German at all, but he's playing there. Mitchell Weiser, who, he's injured now. He actually was in Algeria the other day. That's a real shame. We've not really seen him play. Mitchell Weiser is there as well. There's going to be plenty more, I'm sure, that we don't know yet. So obviously you add Benkara to that list as well. Honestly, big up the Deutsche Algerians. Just get them all involved. So this is a position Algeria need to address. The central defensive area. The fact that Mandy played the last World Cup in 2014 and is probably going to play the next World Cup in 2026 in a 12-year period, that no central defender has been able to come in and take his place. It just tells you everything you need to know about the quality of central defenders we've had in that time period. I mean, you look at Ben Lamry, obviously Bugura and Yahya were quite old in the Brazil World Cup, but in between there, it's been Ben Sabani, Mandy and Ben Lamry. That's it. So, look, it's a great addition. Don't care what anyone says. This is a hugely positive step. And let's welcome him. Let's get behind him. Willkommen and all that stuff. So, so Benkara is going to play for Algeria. Let me know your thoughts down below. What squad do you want to see him involved with at the beginning? And I'll see you next time.